Giveaway, you say? Oh, yeah. Figure Fight Club is the official giveaway channel of Action Figure YouTube.
Thank you, members, for the love you bring, for every shared story and the joy you sing. To our sponsors, your support's the key. Together we build this legacy. Collectors unite in this fight we thrive. Figure Fight Club, our passions alive. Yeah. Unboxings and battles, the thrill of every find. Trading tales and treasures.
Flash in the night. Join the Figure Fight Club, where legends ignite. Decepticast, the battle's on. Action figures, heroes dawn. Transform and roll out, let's take a stand. In the ring of toys, we'll make our stand. From Megatron to Starscream, they're ready to fight. With every twist and turn, they light up the night. Collectors gather round, it's a sight to behold. With stories of valor and legends retold. Decepticast, the battle's on. Action figures, heroes jam. Transform and roll out, let's take a stand. In the ring of toys, they'll make our stand. So grab your figures, let's make some noise in the arena of action. We're all just toys. With every epic showdown, we'll cheer and we'll shout. In the Decepticast, there's no room for doubt. Decepticast, the battle's on. Action figures, heroes shine. Transforming all out, let's take a stand.
Welcome to the only Transformers Awards show that you need to watch ever. Oh, and we're a show about Transformers too. So, yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for hopping in. But enough of my face. Let's welcome my co-host, Anna. Welcome.
Thank you. So honored to be here tonight for this special occasion.
It's very prestigious. I don't know words.
The biggest award show on Figure
It's a
Fight Club
major
tonight.
award. So, before we get into it, we always show things off. Do you have anything you want to show off this week before we start?
I think I'm going to show off something that might actually be in the nominees this year, because I really think it's important that our nominees are with us as much as they can be tonight. So I have as many of them as I can hanging out with me in the stands over here.
And that's where you prepped better than I did, because I completely forgot about that. I was going to do that, and that's what I get for crunching at the end.
I am always prepared when it's an occasion this big. You have to be ready to go. So I'm going to share with everyone the next two Cyan Culture train bots for us to look at. As we know, the Cyan Culture team is producing the entire Raiden. So hopefully we get the last two, right? We've got the arms this time around. We had the legs before. Interesting thing that, depending on how much you know about Raiden's proportions, the leg bots are actually a little bit shorter than the arm bots. Kind of a just amusing little thing. They look just a little bit smaller. So here we have these two. They are really, really good. I just want to say that for anyone who has not yet jumped in on these guys. These are really impressive figures. Very much seems that the Cyan Culture designers have something to do with older Magic Square products, because these are very similar to Magic Square's older offerings. So if you liked those back in the day, these are really excellent. The arm modes are very promising. I'm really excited to see all 6 of these come together, and for the first time in my life, own a complete Raiden. It'll be pretty cool. And I'd say these are definitely the most accurate set, to be honest. Like, the MPG set's a little off, so these guys are probably the most accurate set of the 6 of them. Yeah, HGC, don't worry. I got you covered, because I collect Legend Scale. I think Legends are actually my favorite of the scales. And these guys are really killing it. So highly
Yeah, why am
recommend
I
it.
getting attacked? What did I do?
I think you know what you did.
I don't
think you're
collect
just gonna...
legends. I just enable.
And they do come with instructions. That is true. That is true. And the transformation's actually pretty pleasant on these two. I found the first two to be very hard to transform at 1 in the morning at TFCon. I was trying to show it to some friends. But otherwise, not so bad. On here, though, these guys, I thought this was really intuitive. You know, I didn't really use the instructions to do them. I thought they were really nice, intuitive, fun to do. And yeah, the only thing that's kind of annoying is the panels on the side. But any Transformers toy with panels, we know who we are. We know what we have.
So what's
That's
next?
That's what I
The
wanted to show
torso?
off.
So we got
What's
legs
next
and
is
arms.
the
Now we
last two
just need
bots
the...
of the torso. Yeah. Yeah, one more 2-pack. One more 2-pack. This might be, if they keep up with their pricing, this might be a Legends third-party combiner team of 6, keeping it under $200. Which would be really nice to see that done, because these Legends companies have a really hard time keeping a combiner under 200.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited.
I did while you was talking about that, grab a couple things that are nominated for tonight. So
That's what you were doing. See, I thought you were going to grab a Raiden. So you could be like,
No.
I think Raiden should have these proportions, Anna. But no,
I don't have
instead.
I don't
You don't
have a
have a Raiden,
masterpiece
do ya?
Raiden. No.
Mhm.
I wanted the Moon Studios, but it, you know, like I always, my excuse is, I have priorities. If it's not a priority at the time, I won't get it. And neither the Takara or the Moon Studios was a priority at the time. Other things were. So
Both have their flaws. Both have pretty
Right.
heavy flaws. I would say the Signing Culture set does not really have that many flaws. And just saying, as I've said to several of my other friends, if you want to stick to the original scale, the original train bots were very small. They were small toys. They were not big toys.
Right.
So it would be okay to have an MP collection and have these guys in it and just be like, oh, it's faithful to the toy sizes. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
real trains are not that small, but you can do whatever you want in your toy collection. What do you have to show off, friend?
So as I got out Rat Trap last week to review, I was like, I haven't done any of the other Masterpiece Beast Wars figures. So I pulled this guy out and did the transformation and review of it today, and it's uploading on YouTube right now. So it didn't transform as well as I remembered it.
Okay.
And it's like, it's not a complete failure. It's the only Masterpiece Rhinox we got. So there is that. It has a lot of good play features. I mean, it comes with his guns. They both rotate. He's got some good accessories. It's just he's real panely and not everything like tabs in securely as you try to manipulate it. And you know how I have his arms like spread. Like I can't get a good like just how the shoulder joints are and the elbow joints, and it's just kind of weird. Like I can't manipulate it like I want to look.
When you
But this
were
was like one of those. Go ahead. Sorry.
When you were talking about Rat Trap last week, I noticed you said that he was both smooth and easy, and I don't think that's actually something you could attribute to any of the other Beast Wars Masterpiece
Primal.
figures. Maybe. I still find Primal to be a little annoying to transform, even though he's relatively basic. But yeah, these guys are... The MP Beast Wars figures are not easy or pleasant to transform most of the time.
But they look gorgeous.
They look so good. So good.
And the other thing, you know, I forgot to mention it, but he has light piping. All the other ones either have light up eyes or they're painted, I think. Don't do light piping in MP, please, because they just look dead.
Yep, unless you backlight your display.
Right. So I'm glad to have a Rhinox, but at the same time, it's not the best, but it's the best one that you could have if you want Masterpiece.
I like you showing off something that's not new. This is the first time you've done it. This is the first time you pulled something off your shelf and been like, hey, this is something to show off at show and tell time. I'm proud of you.
We'll get used to it because I am running through the Beast Wars every week. So,
Ooh, all right.
Yep.
I'm excited to see all of them. I've seen the rest of them because I own them. However,
yeah, because I don't have any new Transformers coming in, so I'll be going through some old stuff. Mainly, it's mainly all action figure stuff that I
does that
got.
mean you're quitting Transformers?
No,
Is this
it
your last
means
show?
that
Are you quitting the Decepticast?
it means I have a lot of boxes checked, and I don't have to recheck them.
It's true.
So when will you
That's
break
true.
Megatron? You're talking about the MP Megatron? See, I have the KO, which is probably the far superior version of that Megatron. If I break it, I don't feel as bad. But Cybertron remembered what I wanted to do before we carried on. I want to say hello and thank you for joining us to Zaldron, Stew for Lunch, Jedi Ben. Who else did I see? Initial Goose, Frank Dormano, HGC, even though you were throwing shade at me in the chat, Menhoza, Figure Fight Club. He's in the background. I'll count him though. And who else? Is there anybody else that I missed? Oh, and Lucida Base, and the collector just hopping in, and Benny Torres. Welcome and thank you. So, Anna, do you have anything else to show off, or will that be kind of stuff we might see as we start handing out awards?
I want to show up one more thing, but I
Okay.
don't think friend of the show is the Cannon's here yet. I really need to show this when he's on. But I just wanted to say that I did receive the very, very nice, but also very heavy, and my bookshelves are upstairs, and this is downstairs, so I didn't want to carry it down here. The very, very nice and very, very heavy collection from Skybound of the G1 original comic books, the Marvel runs. Really nice, really fancy. Comes with all these extras, right? Comes with all these fun, comes like a coin, a pin, a sticker, some spec cards, and a bookmark. And the bookmark has some of the most horrendous Bumblebee art I have ever seen on it. Like, this is just, like, look how sad he looks. Look how sad he looks. He's got a broken windshield. He looks depressed. He actually has tear lines going down the center of his eyes, like he's crying. Like, this is just a sad, sad Bumblebee. Like, this guy is so unhappy. So
when you shared that in the
unhappy.
Discord, I was like, "What is this?" And then I realized it was the Bumblebee bookmark.
There's a Bumblebee bookmark. Now, I will say that, as a Bumblebee fan, pretty sad about this, but it's not like the art on the Starscream is good, right? Like, he's the other side. It's not like it's great looking. It just happens to be not sad and depressing looking, but he still looks really off. So, some of the extras that came with it, if you don't like the art style that Skybound is going for with the Transformers stuff, it especially does not fit the Marvel G1 stuff. It may not do you. May not do you that much excitement. You might be seeing all my extras going up on eBay. You never know. Including this beautiful boy. Look how beautiful he is. And so sad. Sorry, Bumblebee. Sorry.
The collector, stick around. That's all I can tell you.
We'll see.
All
Because
right.
we have just an amazing show full of awards, a star-studded cast of nominees. It's going to be a night to remember.
Yeah, hopefully, and no long acceptance speeches tonight either. So you won't have to worry about anybody getting cut off for commercials. Well, there might be one commercial tonight.
Transformers is not known for having a lot of dialogue, so I think we'll be okay, unless it's IDW characters. Then they tend to be a little long-winded. And someone asked what version I got of the comics. It is the Autobot version. I went Autobots over Decepticon because, I don't know. I actually thought most of my friends would go Decepticon, And it turns out like all my friends have actually gone Autobots so far. So, whatever. They're red. They look nice. They're pretty on the shelf. They make a nice display.
They're not orange.
They're not orange. They're red for some reason.
I don't know if Catherine's watching right now, but that was a shot. Sorry.
She is. She's rolling in her alive.
Yeah. All right. So, well, I guess let's get into it.
Let's go.
So tonight is the greatest, as I said earlier, the greatest Transformer award show that you'll ever see. But first, we do have some news sprinkled in here, and like all official news, it is brought to you by Collecticon.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Yeah. Yo, not right, man.
We now return to the Transformers.
So, like I said, the official news is brought to you by Collecticon Toys. Head on over to collecticon.com, make your order, then enter the code FFC10 to get 10% off all Transformers on the site, or just your order. So, is anybody looking for some McFarlane head? Because revealed this week or last week from McFarlane Toys, they are doing 1/3 scale heads of your 3 favorite Transformers. The first one's Megatron. And when I saw these, I was like, what are they going for here? Animation?
Let's say they took a Super 7 product and they just like they put a little air pump into it and just blew it up real big.
Like when I look at these, I think of the Easter Island heads.
Oh
For some reason.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting. But Megatron is not alone.
Not. He has friends.
He has friends. Yeah.
And so
Optimus
Optimus, you can like produce in just about any art style, and because he's such a helmet, like it doesn't look nearly as weird. That Megatron looks strange. That looks pretty normal.
Yep. And then, last but not least, Zakanan's favorite Transformer, Bumblebee.
Also looks bad, just like Megatron.
Yeah. When
Not
they
as
do a
depressed
human,
as the bookmark.
yeah, when they do like a human, human characteristics, that's when they just get bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, McFarlane has never been my favorite toy company, like at all. You know, I have some of the really old stuff and it's not so pretty. But yeah, I don't know why they have to nip their toes into Transformers.
Yeah. Well, it's like we knew that McFarlane was doing a partnership with Hasbro, and I don't think we've seen anything. We've seen G.I. Joe, but we have yet to see any. Or did they do any page punchers for Transformers?
Page punchers. Yeah, we got a couple.
Okay.
We got a couple. They were not noteworthy. And you forgot
they
about
were
them quickly afterwards. You probably revealed them to all of us.
They were so small that you can't tell how ugly they are. So, Toyomic Display, hello, and thanks for joining us. But yeah, so this leads us into our first category, and it's not best head sculpt of the year. It's media of the year. Now, one thing I want to tell everybody. Abby will be putting in the chat polls so you guys can vote. We're going to go over the nominees. We'll do the vote, and then we'll reveal who the winner is.
And our crack team of voters, of award voters, have worked tirelessly, without rest. They have worked without rest for multiple minutes on some of these categories. This was a real difficult decision so many times, and I want to give props to our team for working so hard on these votes and nominations.
Yeah, we're not trolling at all. All of this is credible.
Very credible.
So our first nominees for Media of the Year are Transformers Earthspark, Transformers Cyber World, Transformers Wild King, and the Skybound Transformers comic book.
This has been a good year for Transformers media. Just remember that most years we don't even get one cartoon these days. We've had 3 different forms of animation, even though it hasn't been the most famous seasons of Earthspark. Earthspark got to show up. We got a Japanese toy commercial. We got one of the most grittiest runs of Transformers ever in comic books. And we got whatever Cyberworld is. So I'm getting nudged. Someone seems to be handing me an all-important envelope with the winner inside. Are we ready to see who won?
Well, would you like to? We have 5 votes in. Would you like to go a little bit longer? Maybe talk about your favorite, and I'll talk about my favorite.
Yeah, it was a hard one for me, honestly, because normally I would pick Earthspark no matter what, because Earthspark is a really good cartoon. But I haven't actually got around to watching the new shorts, specials, semi-movies, whatever you want to call them, and I haven't heard the best things about them so far. So, yeah, I kind of had to really stretch and think, exactly what is it that I like out of these. And it's a hard pick. How about for you?
So, like, early on, I was all in on the Energon universe. Not to say I'm anti-Energon universe. It's just I am not all in on time. And my time is very precious. And what I do with it, it's hard to fit some of this stuff in. So, of the 4 things that I've really partaked in, Wild King has been the most. I'm pretty much up to date on Wild King, because a lot of them were up when we did our first show on Wild King. So I did a bunch of those. So that's the only one I could really speak of, because I'm so far behind on Energon Universe. I like what I read in Energon Universe. I'm not against it, but I voted Wild King. I'm probably the only voter for Wild King, and that's only because that's what I've taken in this year.
That's fair. Aside from the fact that Wild King is simply a toy commercial with voice acting.
That's all it is. Yep.
It really is. It really is. They don't even have the faces move in the animation models, because that would be less like the toys. So their faces don't even move when they talk. We're not just talking about Optimus. We're talking about everybody. They just have these still faces. It's beautiful. It's some of the best Transformers animation ever made.
So Abby, would you like to finish the poll, and then we will reveal who the winner is? Right now, it's 67%. Skybound is the winner. Cyberworld is number 2 at 22%. Wild King 11%. I think that's my vote, and 0% for Earthspark. So Anna, can you please reveal?
Sorry, Earthspark. Yeah, let's
winner.
see. Let's see who won. See who won. It's gonna be a bit of an upset, it looks like. Our winner is Transformers Cyberworld.
Congratulations,
Cyberworld.
Well, the chat was completely, I don't want to say wrong, but nobody picked Cyberworld. Way off. Or no, that was Earthspark. Sorry, Cyberworld was 2. It was 2. So there we go. That's not too bad.
Cyberworld has had an interesting year, because not only is it a new toy line, it's a toy line that is more kids accessible. And surprisingly, even though we knocked it, we mocked it, we made fun of those toys, everyone I've talked to who owns the toys have said they're good. Everyone who watches the show says it's coherent, right? It's a little kid friendly. It's a little like, here's what the kids like these days. Let's make it video game flavored. Thing is, though, it's working, right? It seems coherent, seems nice, seems good to go. And I want to remind our fans that we do appreciate the votes of our fans tonight. But these decisions were made before the show by the very select group of the Council of Voters.
Lou
So
says Obby's fired.
we appreciate having the fan vote as well. They may not
Yep.
always agree with the Council of Voters.
Yep.
So just named.
And Lou, maybe next time we can add you to the Council of Voters if you'd like. All right, so
Exactly.
moving on, non-transforming Transformers. Here is 3-0 in their MDLX Shockwave. And so there's two versions of this. There's an exclusive version and a non-exclusive version. And you really don't need the exclusive version unless you like transparent hands, because that's the only difference. You get 8 different transparent hands.
It's a very big number. It's pretty normal for the number of hands.
Yeah, well, I mean, because this is the smaller one, so you're swapping out hands more than you would pose them, like if it was one of the larger ones, right?
It looks really nice. This is a very nice looking figure. I will give it that.
Yep. I think this is kind of like in line with all their other G1. Like we'll see a cone head here in a minute. But I think the exclusive or not, or whatever the exclusive version will be at the different conventions that 3-0 will attend, and that's the only way to get it right now. I'm sure you will be able to get it online. Some of the other ones you've been able to.
I wonder what 3-0 goes to these days. I know they used to go to TFCon. I think they still do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know, all the different conventions that are in Asia. But
Oh, that too. Yeah, of course.
and next up, more from the MDLX line is the third and final member of the Coneheads, because I think Dirge was first, Thrust was second, and now here is Ramjet.
Isn't Ramjet usually the most popular of the Coneheads? I feel like he's the one that people more know than anybody else, so it seems kind of mean to put him last.
I think Dirge looks the coolest because of the purples,
Okay.
the bluish, and the gold. Thrust was my first, so that's just me personally. I think Thrust has the more unique design because it's got the VTOL
True.
engines, but I like Ramjet. I like this Ramjet. I like hopefully the way the reds pop off the whites transitions into the in-hand version of it. You can kind of see it a little bit better on this image. But I am not.
That's what-
I do not
That's why
collect these.
I've always liked Ramjet because of the kind of monochrome plus, because he's kind of just like almost a black and white image, but then the red just always pops out on him. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a gritty comic book where red's the only color. I always liked it.
Yeah. And then here's like the kind of breakdown of the parts that come with it. We saw that earlier, but and more on non-transforming Transformers action figure-esque. We have Yellow Park and their AMK Pro. Is this right? AMK Pro series RC from Rise of the Beast. Yeah, AMK Pro series.
Now, all of these second party companies that have been licensed to produce non-transforming Transformers, they have been really skipping the women, right? They haven't been doing a whole lot of women figures. So it's nice to see Yellow Park. They were trying to brag. In fact, they were like, "This is our first woman figure. We did it." And it's like, how long did it take you guys? Why did it have to take a couple years for you to get to this? She's looking good. She's looking good.
Very
It's
tempting.
noteworthy.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed earlier when I was looking at these, she has big feet, and I think that's going to help stability and posability.
That's a really bad thing with a lot of woman Transformers figures is they give them those dainty little feet. They often just can't help themselves but put them in heels, even though they're robots. And you end up with a figure they can't really stand. I don't love the face design on this figure and the design in general. However, yeah, I still like this.
So is it something you might purchase day one or wait for a sale or not buy at all?
I don't actually have a Yellow Park AMK Pro. I actually saw my first one in person today at I was at the Toys R Us that's in the Mall of America. I was there looking around at the toys, and they actually had some of them, a little marked up for my taste, but they sure do look nice. So maybe it could be my first AMK Pro. I don't know.
So I think so. If you look on this slide, there are 2 gifts, and does it say where if you have? I think you have to pre-order them, or you have to order them through Yellow Park's website. But there's a metal badge and a limited edition keychain. Is that any more tempting?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Next up, non-transforming Transformer of the Year. There's kind of a theme with these awards.
This has been the year of these type of figures, right? But let's go ahead and list off, because we need to stall for people to vote. Let's go ahead and have our nominees.
Here's the nominees.
Go ahead, Caleb.
So starting off, this is Blockies heavy. I think we kind of did this one before. We kind of separated it a little bit, but so we have the Transformers 1 Classic Class Blockies Megatronus, the Blockies kit that killed everybody because they didn't think they were going to get it, Devastator, I guess you would say Defender size because it is all of the Defenders, Action Edition Soundwave, and the Kotobukiya Optimus Prime crossover.
So this has really been the year of non-transforming Transformers. And a lot of people, I think, went back on their words this year, right? Because of
One of them.
a certain company, right? A lot of people said, I would never buy non-transforming Transformers. That's not the way I collect. What's the point in Transformers if they don't transform? I'm reading from the script with you all when you talk. And instead, what happened is people started buying non-transforming Transformers this year. I don't know very many people. I know one who will probably chime in with me saying this. I don't know very many people who haven't fallen and got at least one non-transforming Transformer this year. It has really been the year of these figures.
Yep. So, like, for me, I was probably one of the biggest, I am never getting these. And it was this Devastator that broke my will. Like, and I was behind. Like, I didn't have the first 2 waves. And shout out to Collecticon Toys, I was able to get the figures from the first 2 waves. Lucked out. My order through Show Z came in, and I was able to build this like very quickly once everything was released. And then it just spiraled from there. Now I've kind of cooled a little bit just because one of the other things, how they look, was price point. Price point's always king when it comes to purchasing toys to add to our collection. And one of the things that I don't like about Blockies right now, and it's because of things always go up, but their stuff is starting to creep up, and fun level and price is going up, fun level is going down. So I've slowed down a little bit on Blockies. I will still promote them. I enjoy them. They're fun toys, but I don't think I'm going to collect them all.
I might need you to detail why fun level is going down later. But right now we're focusing on the nominees, and I do want to say something about one of these nominees. Is this Frame Arms crossover girl Kotobukiya Optimus Prime figure? This was a figure that I heavily pushed on everyone, right? As someone who has Frame Arms girl figures, as someone who likes Kotobukiya, I have been kind of telling people, this is going to be really cool. This is going to be really great. This is going to be a really good figure. Everybody should get a hold of it. It comes out and it's just like, it's all right. It's not so bad. It was kind of a pain in the neck to put together.
Very small
and
pieces.
it doesn't do as much as most of the Frame Arms Girls figures do. Most of the Frame Arms Girls figures do a lot more. They have more accessories, more fun stuff than this. This is relatively basic as a Frame Arms Girl. And unlike Blockies, it came out at a price point. It's a little iffy. So I don't know. I'm not as charmed as I thought I would be.
I liked the build, because I like building things, but at the same time, it was knowing how much she cost, and I put more work into it. I actually got files to file sprue marks and stuff like that. So I enjoyed putting it together, but like you mentioned, there's some things that are off. Is this normal with Frame Arm Girls, where things just pop off, if you're trying to articulate them? Because that was the big thing with her.
I'm looking at my Frame Arms Girl who's right in front of me here, and there's a couple of her pieces laying in front of her right now. Because I've moved the shelf at all, they've fallen off of her. So yeah, unfortunately, that is something they do. They don't tend to break as bad as other kids tend to, but they do tend to have parts that fall off. One thing that was relatively unique to this was how small some of the pieces were. Some of the pieces were just so small that, I don't know, you get out the tweezers and it's still not enough.
She had this little hair piece that plugged in onto the brow of the helmet or the whatever tiara, and I was like, oh god, I dropped it.
Really frustrating to do.
To find it. Yeah, especially when you have hard floors, it hits and goes who knows where. But I found it. Thankfully, it was light. It was a piece of blonde hair. So, but yeah, I just noticed people talking about the pricing differences in the chat, and yeah. Walmart still has some cheap prices on Blockies. So analysts, let me see how many we have. So we have 10 votes.
10 votes. 10 votes.
So tied at 10% is the Kotobukiya Optimus Prime and Devastator. Shocking. At 20%, Classic Class Megatronus, and running away with it at 55%, it's Action Edition Soundwave. Now they keep fluctuating, but now Megatronus and Devastator are tied at 18%. Kotobukiya Optimus Prime's 9%. And
there's an envelope here. You can tell us who won the Decepti for this category.
Yeah, you can end it, Avi.
Let's see. See, I told you. Sometimes we have disagreements. Sometimes the fan vote and the secret council vote is the same. The winner is Action Edition Soundwave. Congratulations, Soundwave.
Congratulations.
And I will tell you, Soundwave has gotten a great prize for being the winner from me. Is that 4 months now, he has gotten the honor of being the thing that holds up my tablet when we do the show. He supports it so that it's up at the right height. He's a big helper. Thank you so much, Action Edition Soundwave. You do a great job of holding up my computer.
I'm surprised, Stu, you didn't say Optimus Prime got robbed, or that the voting was rigged. And Lord of Brooklyn, Hasbro works with Blockies. They're Hasbro licensed.
They are licensees. Big old licensees that are now producing nearly transforming figures. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, and then, like I said, Action Edition was my first one from Blocky, so I was pleased with it. And now to kits that you have to put together that probably aren't as fun. We have Flame Toys and their new updated version of Bumblebee. Now we've seen some pictures earlier this year, but now we have full full pictures, and then you can kind of see some of the pieces and the hands that it comes with. What do you think, Anna?
Did you notice how Flame Toys wasn't in the nominees at all for buildable figures? Did you notice that? Because they were.
Yep.
Flame Toys is just like, you know what? Flame Toys opened the door so that blockies could walk through it with their Action Edition stuff. I'm really curious to put together a trumpeter figure at some point. I really do want to put together a trumpeter figure to see if they're more in line with the Flame Toys or the blocky style. Even the Kotobukiya. The Kotobukiya figure we said was kind of frustrating. Not nearly as frustrating as Flame Toys.
Right.
Toys is so frustrating. This looks great, right? Like, this is a good looking Bumblebee.
Looks
I
fun.
probably have to have it because it's Bumblebee, but I have
Yeah.
a problem.
I think they really did a good job in these promotional images too, to like trigger people to want to buy this that might not, but are a fan of Bumblebee, like yourself.
Yeah, look at those pictures. He looks so good. He's floating in the air magically. It always gets me to buy a toy.
Next up, moving on to the big winner of the last award, Blockies, is there's some leaks coming out on the next Wave 9 of Galaxy class, and then right after that, they showed officially one of the characters that's in that box. So we're getting the updated Megatron. I think that Shining version was where we kind of first saw this, right? But if you guys are having a hard time seeing what's in this box, front row we have Jetfire, Megatron in the middle, Springer, one of my favorite characters. Next row we have RC, Mirage, and then the next row, Triptychon, Titans, baby. We are going hard in the Titans, 2 back-to-back. Bombshell, is that Bombshell? Yeah, Bombshell, and he comes with a little mini kickback in bug mode. Thrust, and that's right, in the background is Planet Mode Unicron.
Unicron. I'm excited for Triptychon. I'll be honest. Like, it looks cool from that little picture that we've seen. And if it's anything like the Metroplex is really fun. Like, it's neat. It just looks cool. So I would love to have that. I thought that I was safe. I thought that I was done with Galaxy. Because I said, you know, every time I put together Galaxy figures, and I'm like, where does this go on my shelf? It doesn't even make any sense in my collection. Why do I have these things? Ugh. And, you know, I was like, I'm going to be done with it. And then they make an RC.
Yep.
So it's like my RC shelf is full of RCs. Probably have to get her.
Yeah, and I think I made this prediction last night. What if this Unicron comes apart and he starts building that Unicron for that head? It probably doesn't, but it'd be cool if it did.
Pretty wild.
Yep. Let's see. Next up, they showed their next Defender wave. So this is the chase figure, is Optimus Primal. So you can see little deco differences. I think the super chase we'll see that on the next couple slides. But so here's some more from that wave. So we're going all in on Beast Wars and Defender scale, and we got Monkey Not Truck Optimus Primal in Beast mode. We got a T-Rex Beast mode of Megatron, Cheetor robot mode. Here's some more robot modes of Megatron, and I like a purple T-Rex. They might get me on this. And we're finishing Bruticus, our second combiner.
They're going to get you on this already with the Bruticus, aren't they?
Right. Well, maybe.
Might as well just get the whole box.
Speaking of Bruticus.
Get the Bruticus.
Yep, versus Devastator. Starscream versus Megatron there at the bottom.
Looking a little better now. Looking a little better now than it did in the last images we saw of it.
Yep.
Looking pretty fun, pretty animated. Not animation accurate, but animated.
Notice he has a open hand and a closed fist to hold his weapon. So are we going to get a kit with multiple hands to do different things?
We'll see.
And then here is Bruticus holding his Lord and Savior, Starscream, in the palm of his hand.
It's his dad.
Yep.
Archie's his dad. There's kids.
So, and then leaked out the box for this Defender. What is this? Wave 6. So as you can see, the chase figures are Optimus Primal and Beast Wars Optimus Primal and Megatron and Robot Mode. So we get shiny versions of them, and then the 1 in 144 Primal looks to get swords and probably different decos, as we saw in the one fixture. And then Megatron gets his hunting rifle and then a blast effect for his fusion dinosaur head cannon. And then we get the tease for Bruticus in the background.
I have a few thoughts here. One, little frustrating to see them mixing together the G1 characters and the Beast Wars characters in one set, just because you're going to have to, you know, if you weren't interested in having any Beast Wars guys at the scale, you're going to get them when you do get your parts for Bruticus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pause real quick to answer Initial Goose's question about where the combiners are coming from. The combiners do actually come from Defender. So the Defender class figures have produced vehicles for Devastator and now Bruticus that go together with the help of an additional kit that you have to buy separately. The Devastator was an under $10 kit, so hopefully the Bruticus is too. So it'll be relatively cheap to get. However, they have spread both combiners across 3 waves. So it is a bit of a hassle to get them all. You know, you have to plop down some money on your Defenders in order to get a full set of them. And I want to say another thing about these guys. Anybody who's collected all Defenders, last year we got 60 Defender blockies, right? We have 5 sets of 12 in a year. If we do this again, anyone who's collecting all the Defender blockies, you're going to have 120 by the next Decepties. 120 little tiny Defender blockies. Do we really want that? Is this what we wanted? Because this is what we're getting.
That's the other decision I have to make. Room is the other thing.
Yeah.
So at least the Defenders are little 2-inch figures, so that's not as
Where
bad.
Where the heck do they go?
Right.
Yeah, they're little. Where do they go?
And so I listed what the chases were. So this wave consists of Beast Wars, Beast Megatron, Shatterglass, Rodimus or Rodimus Uchronus, vehicle mode Blastoff, vehicle mode Vortex. That's Astro Train up there in that top right corner, which images just dropped today of it. I didn't have time to throw them in the slideshow. Cheetor, Ultra Magnus, Perceptor, which we haven't seen that till that box art, and that I think images of that dropped today. Beast mode, Optimus Primal, and then alt mode Snarl, and Cheetor, and Cheetor. So they are going in the Beast Wars. So next up, we have where are we at? Right here.
I'll be back.
Guess who's back?
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, I'm thinking I'm back.
You gotta put your back into it, dumbass.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Reissues of the week. Some people found some reissues at GameStop this week. And they're probably at 2028 prices. So head on over to GameStop and get your Legacy Evolution Amazon exclusive nacelle and your Earthrise Trailbreaker. Gosh, I almost called him Hoist. I know better.
You know what I saw today at a GameStop, at the GameStop in the Mall of America? They had both the MPG Rat Trap and the MPG God Bomber.
Really?
US retail. It was just such a strange thing to see, especially God Bomber, right? Like Rat Trap, at least it's like, okay, everybody loves Rat Trap, but God Bomber.
I ordered my Rat Trap from GameStop and it had the slipcover, so maybe they just took the slipcover when they put it out on display.
Maybe they did, yeah, because they didn't have the slipcovers on. They were to be visible. They were to be seen. God Bomber really surprising. Rat Trap was kind of a surprise, but God Bomber was like, what? What's he doing here?
That's cool. Do you have that God Bomber yet?
Well, remember earlier I had that giant box, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I'm opening this on Thursday.
That was your TF Source sale.
Christmas present from me to me.
Yep. And moving on to maybe this is real, maybe this is fake, but it was all over. This was spotted on eBay. I don't remember the user, but supposedly this is the 40th anniversary, I think Walmart exclusive Studio Series 86 Hot Rod with some new accessories, a little bit of different paint. What do you think of this possibly being real or fake?
I think that it looks very nice. It's a very nice looking figure. We've got the kind of pinkish coloring. We've got the accessories all there and all that good stuff. I think there's a pretty decent chance still that it could be fake. I know quite a few people have just been like all in, all in the moment they see it. They're like, this is definitely real. This is definitely the real one. I don't know about that. Faking it wouldn't be that hard to do. Make you a nice custom. Now, this person who's selling it on eBay, last I looked, the bids were pretty high. So they're going to be making a fair amount of money if it's a fake or real. One or the other. Doesn't really matter. But I'll just tell you, that toy is great. And that toy, the original 86 Hot Rod, is going for good money right now. So, if this comes out looking this nice, easy buy for a lot of people.
eBay will be flooded with the original Studio Series 86 one. And what's funny is probably part of the reason why it's as high as it is, not only is because it's out, but there's package variants because they did like a package refresh and it had a completely different package.
It's true, but Lou makes a good point. When this Hot Rod came out, right, he is the size of a deluxe class figure. He is not the size of a Voyager. He was a very unique deluxe size figure with Voyager plus engineering. He's a very complex deluxe size figure. There's a lot that goes into transforming him in a good way. Like, I only have good things to say about the figure. It was hard for people at the time to pay that Voyager price point. The Voyager price point is $44 now, right?
And there's no guarantee this is coming out of a Voyager price point with all these additional accessories.
All those accessories, that fishing pole, that is a commander class fishing pole if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
No, it could be a leader. They could release this as a leader instead of a Voyager. You never know.
Yep. Speaking of real things from Hasbro or Takara, because these have a lot of tags on them, there's a lot of new shit in this picture that we didn't even know about. Maybe from leak listings we knew about. But, Takara a week or two ago revealed a lot of these. And then, as they're you could get from Hobby Link Japan or Takara Tomi's website. That's Power Glide in the bottom left corner and Swerve on the bottom right corner and animated Prowl up top. And that's Transformers Prime. Or wait, I said Prowl. Transformers
Ratchet.
Prime, Prowl, and animated Ratchet. So these are completely, we didn't see these till they were revealed last week. So here's some closer images.
Yeah, so there's some good looking stuff in here. There's also some not as good looking stuff. You know what surprises me is that Ratchet.
Yeah.
I have not liked the modernized version of animated figures. And that looks good. That looks really good.
Yeah, and if you was looking at that Earthrise Trailbreaker, it's probably looks a little bit familiar because it does use some of that tooling.
Really impressive. Like it just really does look like animated Ratchet. Where I feel like a lot of the other animated figures, especially like Prowl, have been
What do you want me to go back to, Initial Goose? To that? We got closer images. So, and speaking of reuse, here is if you had the knockout from Legacy, this is pretty
so
much,
wild.
Yeah.
I would
There's a
like it if
retool
Knockout
of it.
looked a little more like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny, the one image on the bottom left, like they're doing like an up skirt shot, and you can kind of see through to his face, through his grill.
You can. No, this is an interesting take on the character. I think it looks okay. I need to see more shots of this to be sure if I really like it. That's okay, because I'm not that interested in the revivified Prime either. I think it comes out a little better than the animated usually, but
Mm-hmm. But let's see. On to some G1 goodness. Here is a retool
nice.
of the gears to... We're getting Swerve. Now, some of this stuff is Age of the Prime. Some of this is Studio Series. If I had to guess, the stuff on the top row is Age of the Primes, and the bottom stuff Studio Series, because that's kind of how it looks. It's separated. So I'm going to guess this is Studio Series Swerve. And
so.
same thing with the Power Glide. Or
Yeah,
I'm going to call
looking pretty good.
the robot mode for sure. The plane looks a little off, in my opinion. But if I had to choose one mode looking better than the other, the robot mode should always look better.
You know, Airplane with fists is what his G1 toy is. So he just flies through the air punching. So, you know, I get it. I get why they're letting them kind of come out like this. The mini-bots all look pretty darn good in robot mode. They're all kind of questionable in vehicle mode. Not all of them, but a lot of them are.
Well, is everybody ready for the Hasbro Transformer of the Year? Abby, if you
category.
could. Yeah, this one, hopefully Lord of Brooklyn is here, since we are talking about his where he resides. So the nominees for Hasbro Transformer of the Year.
Would you like me to read this one, or would you just to continue?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so we have the HasLab incorrectly labeled Godfire Convoy that some people call Omega Prime. We have a little friend called Quick Strike, who I really need to get to know better myself. We have a big surprise, more Cyberworld tonight, Snarl, who kind of likes to antagonize in this role. It's new for him. And then we have, to no one's surprise, the darling of the year of the Hasbro releases, Studio Series 86, Megatron. There's some
Now, I
strong
couldn't bring-
contenders.
Oh, we got a Bumblebee fan in the chat.
Sure do.
Your nemesis, Anna. Zakanin.
Let's say frenemy. Let's say frenemy. We seem to
Frenemy?
get
Okay.
along reasonably well, except for him being completely wrong about Bumblebee. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this important race we have here. Who do you think's winning this race, Caleb?
So of the 4 nominees, I only own one of them, and I can't show it because it's on my desk at work, and that's the Studio Series 86 Megatron.
I'm here too, guys. I'm here too. Forgot to make an appearance.
Is that crack free?
It is crack free, yeah. Yeah, nice and very carefully combined every time that I've combined it. In good shape still. In good shape still, we have Godfire Convoy. I don't know who Omega Prime is. Thanks to Kanan. I guess while you have me big, I can show Zakanan this cool bookmark I got. Check it out. Is this such a beautiful bumblebee? Anyway.
Just for you, Zakanan. So yeah, and then I think I just saw that Snarl this weekend when I stopped at Walmart. Quick Strike looks like a fun toy. Like I almost want to add it because I do have a mix mash of Beast Wars figures because not all of them have masterpiece representations. So maybe it might be one of those I see at the store, might pull the trigger, you know.
Quick Strike is a unique Beast Wars figure with no hands.
Yeah.
It just always gets me.
Right. And then by the time Omega Prime or Godfire Convoy was a HasLab option, I was out of mainline stuff, so it didn't entice me. But now we're watching the series, but still I don't feel bad that I didn't pick it up.
We haven't even got to the God part of it yet. We just got into Superfire Convoy.
Right.
It always amuses me because Superfire Convoy, surprisingly in the series, does not really fight very much. He's usually doing rescue stuff.
So we
It's
have
an interesting set.
So we have 9 votes, and I'm shocked at this. At 0%. At 0%, HasLab Godfire Convoy / Omega Prime. 0%. It's a HasLab. Wow. Usually those are like figure of the year. Those are usually figure of the year for some people.
They are figure of the year. Look at him, guys. He's crying. Look how sad this thing is. It's a conglomeration of brothers stuck together into one body. He's sad.
It might break in a pool of tears. I mean, drown in a pool of tears. At 11%, Deluxe Class Quick Strike. At 22%, Cyberworld Snarl. And at a whopping 67%, Studio Series 86 Megatron. Would you like to reveal the winner?
There's an envelope here. I wonder what's inside. Will our fans complain again if they don't get to make the same decision as the council? We'll see. So it turns out our fans have nothing to complain about. Tonight's winner of Hasbro Toy of the Year for the Decepti is Studio Series 86 Megatron. Take your prize, little guy. Take your prize.
Congratulations.
So happy.
Wasn't the perfect toy, but it was probably one of the best. So I agree with that. That was who I voted for.
As the council handed down the decision on this one, I had a little laugh about it because I remember that Caleb and I spent probably 3-4 hours of showtime talking about how much we thought this was flawed because of his lack of a transformation. There's no alt mode on this figure, right? He's got nothing. No alt mode. So strange for a mainline figure. But yet we still love him just for bot mode.
This cube it turns into with a turret on it. I don't know.
Just
what
lays
that
down.
Lays down. Megatron turns into a blaster or a gun.
Strange. So strange, but an award winner he is.
Yep. Let's see. Next up, third-party news. Oh, but heading into third-party news, we're going to go into reveal of the year.
Because that's what we do here.
What was that?
That's what we do here. We do reveals all year long. And by all year, I mean the half of the year we've been running. We've been hitting you with reveal after reveal after reveal. So we felt that it was very important to have a category for it.
Yep. And the nominees are first, Oh, hold on. Oh, first is
Get that poll.
the Takara. Oh yeah, Abby, you can put up the poll now. The Takara Predaking.
Very stylized. There he is.
Fans Toys. Devastator. Because we don't have enough Devastators. Hasbro HasLab. Lio Kaiser and
Showtime! Woo!
Dr. Woo! Insecticons.
As if this award show wasn't cringy enough already.
So now Fans Toys is in the process of building their Devastator. Currently, Scrapper and Scavenger are available. That's my Devastator. I think and that's just a render. It is probably one of the better looking animation accurate Devastators that are out there, even though MMC is starting to pull away. But the Fans Toys is definitely what I'm looking for the most as a masterpiece collector. Anna, what are your thoughts on which one you're looking forward to the most this year?
I really do think that Fans Toys is an impressive thing. I think a tragedy happened for old Lio Kaiser, because Lio Kaiser is one of my favorite designs in Japanese G1. I love the way the combiner looks. I think it's just such a cool thing. I think this would have really been the darling of a lot of people if Iron Factory wouldn't have scooped them so extremely well. The Iron Factory Lio Kaiser is just such a great thing. And while I do enjoy a Dr. Wu, I don't get that excited about any individual Dr. Wu figure, but I am excited for that freak on the right, that Predaking, that hyper stylized, hyper expensive, hyper Takara Predaking. Really has me excited to see other people let me play with theirs. That's pretty pricey. It's being cool though, right? Like, it's not even going to be big. It's actually a relatively small figure. Like, it's not going to be much bigger than the
Legends.
Yeah. It's going to be maybe the size of a Hasbro combiner. I think a little shorter.
So how do you feel that it is close to like Legends or a Hasbro combiner, and you have some of those, and it might fit scale wise? Do you even care about scale?
I don't care much about scale. I don't really give a darn about it. Keeping things from getting too big is kind of important to me, which is the limited space that I have right now. But
right.
I do figure I'm going to end up with this thing. I really do. Like, unless people start getting it in hand and they go, ooh, this is some grade A poop, it stinks. I figure I'm going to find, a good price on it once it comes around and get a hold of one, because it really does take my interest. I have a Predaking right now though, so I'd have to let it go. I'd have to let my Power of the Primes KO improved Predaking go in order to get this one.
What about that Predaking that we've seen some images of that, I forget the name of it, but
Deformation.
Yeah, the Deformation one. Yeah.
I'm interested in that. That's a weirdo. But
yeah.
This one is really enticing me. Very enticed.
Well, let's check the chat and see how the votes look. So at last place at 11%, I am surprised. Hasbro HasLab Lio Kaiser is at 11%. At 22%, tied at 22% is Dr. Wu Insecticons and the Fans Toys Devastator. So Anna, the chat is in agreement with you with Predaking at 44%.
The chat is in agreement with me about Predaking. I'd really like to hear something from the chat though. I would like to hear why you're not excited about Lio Kaiser. I'm just curious, because these HasLabs, maybe they're not hitting as strong as they used to. And I don't work for Hasbro. I'm not collecting data for them or anything. I'm just curious. Why are you not excited about Lio Kaiser? I'm not, because I already have one. And I had one before. I had a third-party one I got rid of, the old TFC. Then I got the Iron Factory. So I don't need it. But I'd like to hear your thoughts.
If I had to guess, I would think that the Asian market is saving these HasLabs, and the American market is not as hyped.
That's possible. It could be just because they are these Japanese G1 oddities that a lot of people don't know. Because I love Japanese G1. But this envelope's coming. So I guess it's time to find out. Is this whole award show rigged in the favor of the fan votes? Let's see. Big surprise here. It's the Takara Predaking winning the Decepti for reveal of the year. Looking forward to that guy.
I guess people are looking forward to spending $500 on this little short combiner.
Congratulations, future toy. Hopefully you exist. Hopefully you don't end up like the Takara Lyo convoy that just doesn't seem to want to come out.
Right. Next year, could it be toy of the year? Could it be it can't be in the Hasbro of the year because it's Takara.
Nope. Next year, will the Takara Lyo convoy come out? We'll see.
And then now moving on to third-party news, DNA Design. It seems like they're every week we're getting something new from them. They're improving the G1 or the Studio Series 86 Megatron block mode, maybe.
Yeah, that weird rectangle.
Yeah, definitely helping out the robot mode. So you can see some of the pieces, bigger shoulders, some gap fillers. I like the emotive faces. I like how they figured out how way to do that. The key to Vector Sigma, a better fusion cannon, not lightsaber, and then a mace with a removable posable chain or a metal chain. Oh, and a waist piece. So here is what it. Go ahead, Anna.
Sometimes these upgrade kits make you realize flaws where you didn't notice them before. Like, the sword seemed totally fine to me until I saw their take on it. It was like, oh, the one I have on mine is terrible. Whoops.
Yep. Yep. And upgrade kits is kind of what pushed me away from mainline stuff because, it can be better. And some of these kits are really good. Some of these help out a lot. But now you're looking at a $60 figure and another $30 on top of it. Now you're getting into third-party stuff, price ranges.
No, you're absolutely right about that. You really do get up there because these are not cheap kits.
Yeah.
You know, this is 2 kits that they're ever doing. Are they doing 2 or 3?
Well, so is what they're doing. This is the main kit. This has all the pieces, but they also have a secondary kit that just comes with the sword and fusion cannon, which I'm surprised they did that because I would imagine more people would buy this than the full kit. Maybe. I didn't think that fusion cannon was bad enough to where this was needed, but it's more screen accurate.
I want the faces. Megatron needs a cackling crazy face. But aren't they doing a tertiary kit as well? Isn't there a third one?
Yeah, there is a third kit, and it's a little bit different.
What's different?
Turns him into a tank gun.
Tank gun. I do like that it can double as the classic kind of mount for his cannon to make him a little more like toy-like. That he can do that little play feature the original G1 toy could do. But it also has the absolutely preposterous, thank you so much, Skybound Run handle to go into a tank. So silly.
You know, it's funny. It's like, didn't DNA do something similar with the Optimus Prime to give him the more a Skybound look, and then I don't know, 5 or 6 months later, Hasbro finally did like a Skybound Optimus Prime. You think they would do this for Megatron and insert something like this to do the gun Megatron?
I don't think so, because I do think that if we had crazy moment of the year right, at the point that it happened, that Optimus putting on Megatron's arm from the Skybound run, like that is a series defining moment, right? That is what is unique about that series so far, is they dared to do something that wild as do an arm swap, which toy collectors have been doing for ages.
Right.
So I do think that this was more of a gag, right? I do really think this was kind of a gag in the comic where they were like, you know what, we're just gonna say, here he is a gun you can hold. He's a tank.
Yeah, I think there was like a third-party company that did like a 3D printed version of it. I was looking on. I was looking for prices for these, and I can't find a listing. So I was kind of curious how much you have to go all in to get this. Usually, Big Bad puts them up immediately after DNA announces it, but I can't find it. So yeah, I'm marked safe for getting any of these kits. The faces seem fun, like you mentioned, but I am okay.
I want the faces. I honestly don't buy upgrade kits very often, though, so don't count on it.
Let's see, and moving on to Galaxy Toys, they posted final production images of their Seekers 3-pack that'll be coming out soon, shipping soon. So, Anna, are you excited to add these to your collection to go with your reflector?
Still looking good. Still looking very good. Still look like they'll go well with the reflector and the beachcomber. I'm thinking Galaxy Toys is a keeper. We'll see what they do. They do keep their prices good, so we'll see how they go.
Yep. And then, see, next up, this is Lucky Cat. I almost said Laser Cat. So they originally did a Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, and so in translation it said SS, as in like Studio Series, is what I was thinking. So I'm not 100% sure what scale these are because I couldn't find a height measurement. So I don't know. I wrote generation scale because I saw that SS, and I was like, well, maybe they're generation sized, but these could be legend size as well. Just looking at the chest and like how things are compact. So these aren't masterpiece. I can confirm that for sure.
Lucky Cat typically does legends.
Yeah.
Right, their figures so far have been legends and oftentimes turning into cubes. You know, like they get their Cube Voltron and their Cube Devastator. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's probably legends.
And the only other reason why I was thinking it wasn't legends is because there's not swappable hands. You can kind of see there's like a thumb hinge, like a ball joint.
Okay.
But and it was a different numbering because they do have a legend scale listing on Show Z for a Nemesis Prime, and it was a different like not serial number but product number. But this is their version of a Nemesis Prime, and they are also doing a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime from the Rise of the Beast mold.
All the cute little Optimuses.
Yeah. If you didn't have enough Optimus Prime in your life, Lucky Cat is helping you out. And from one feline to another, we have final images, production images from Laser Cat Toys of their chibi style, deformed style of Beast Wars Megatron. So I think everything we've seen in this guy has been gray model colors. So it's good to see what it looks like in color. And I mean, I love this design. I don't know if I will pick this up.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun little dinosaur.
And then, so last week we got a tease from Robot Toys' Tarantulas. Now we have in hand. These are finished products. These were from Mag Motion. He has review copies and sent out some images of this Tarantulas, and it looks really good. And this is legend scale.
It really does. It really does look really good. Like that just, I was perfectly happy with my mainline tarantulas, right? I've always been looking at it thinking, yeah, let's get enough for tarantulas. But then this thing, I just see this thing, I'm like, ooh, my goodness. That mainline one is trash. I want this instead. Look at this beautiful little spider guy.
Yep.
I love spider transformers. They're great. So, really do like that a lot.
I think you're upsetting Lord of Brooklyn and Zoldron.
Hey, I already done supported the official release. I got it. So, I get to have the good one now.
So this is leading into our next award, Micro/Legend Scale Figure of the Year.
The little guys category.
Yeah. The small but mighty. Zakanin knows all about that. At 3 foot tall. Sorry, shots fired. I don't know if he's still here. Hopefully he didn't hear that. So the nominees are. Would you like to sound these off, Anna, since you probably
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we know that among the council, there weren't that many Legends collectors. I had to help them out a little bit. I had to intervene with the council to help them talk about Legends and small figures. So, first up, going in no order that makes any sense, we have the Galaxy Toys Reflector. Kind of a surprising little hit of the year. Little indeed. Then we have another micro scale figure. We have Dr. Wu's offering of Scourge, which was surprisingly complex and nice looking compared to a lot of other Dr. Wu figures. Then we have the aforementioned train bots. We have those guys just hanging out and waiting for their friends. They're waiting to be finished. Then finally, we have kind of a figure that barely got in. We have Iron Factory's Death Cobra finishing up their extended version of Lyle Kaiser. He's the first Death Cobra toy that we've seen. Soon to have two, right? Because the Haslife's coming with one. So, Caleb, since you're feeling very quiet right now, what do you think about these figures as a non-Legends collector?
So, if I had to pick one, I would go with the Train Bots because I don't have a version of Train Bots. And there's not very many out there in the market other than, like, I think we mentioned earlier that you have the Takara and then you have the original, which I don't collect vintage. And you have the Moon Studios. So very tempting if I had to choose any of these would be the Cyan Culture train bots.
They're quite good. They're quite good. And this is an interesting thing for me because, you know, of all these categories, I haven't really owned many of the figures in a lot of these categories. And some of them I have unopened, as we see from my my stand for my computer here is being Soundwave, previous winner. But I actually have all these, right? I actually do have all these. I have experienced all these figures. And I have to say, like, all four of these, really great toys, right? Not a loser in the bunch. Not a loser in the bunch.
Well, let's see what the chat thinks. So we have 7 votes in at 0%. The Cyan Culture train bots. I would have thought HGC would have voted for those. But
Train
as
bots.
you see in the chat, Death Cobra was his. So at 14%, we have Dr. Wu Scourge. And then at 25%, Iron Factory's Death Cobra. And with the lead at 62%, Galaxy Toys Reflector.
I have to say, these guys really surprised me, right? Like, I saw in the pictures, when I saw them, I was like, ooh, these are looking real nice. Then I got them in hand, and I was like, wow, these things can pose, which I love a good posable figure. So, I don't know where my vote is. It's actually the Cyan Culture. I'm really enjoying those figures. Those little reflectors, those are good kids, too. Let's see what the Academy has chosen. Oh goodness. I think, Caleb, that the fans, the viewers, actually snuck in
This
and
is rigged.
changed these envelopes because since they complained about that first vote, it's lined
It was
up
just Lou.
every single time. Every single time it's lined up, I think there has been a tampering in my supply of envelopes here of the different winners. Because the winner for this one is Reflector. Galaxy
Congratulations,
Toys.
Reflector. Welcome to the Academy.
Congratulations to them. Galaxy Toys, surprisingly, you may hear me talk about this on the show. They've actually been around for a few years, but this is their year for people to actually notice them. I think people haven't really noticed Galaxy Toys putting out figures in the past. They put out an Optimus and a not a smoke stream, but a silver streak, blue streak, whatever. They have a Megatron out that people forget about. Like, they have toys out there, but their Reflector and Beachcomber and now those Seekers, getting them on the map. Can't wait to see more from Galaxy Toys.
Yeah, and like you said, the some of the things that they were known for is not what you want to be known for, and now they're getting a lot of positive feedback. So it's good to see, and it might it's somewhat competition with Dr. Woo, and we know what they say about competition. It can make other people's product get better. So
that's something that I have to say, right? Like, looking at that list of nominees, the Scourge, definitely the Dr. Wu figure of the year, right? Like, really good, really stand out from the others. But a lot of the other Dr. Wu releases have just been like, yeah, okay, it's as good as the others. Yeah, okay, it's as good as the others. Goes on the shelf. Kind of like when you're opening Hasbro Deluxes these days, right? Where you're just kind of like, yeah, this is fine. It goes with the rest of them. But you're not like talking about it for days after. You're just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yep.
This Galaxy Toy set, it's a chat box.
Open, pose, put on the shelf. A lot of us fall into that. All right. So next up, speaking of, we were talking about Fans Toys Devastator. So I think Jamie Sutton is the artist that does some of this box art for Fans Toys. So box art for Hook, their next Devastator piece. So this should be coming soon. I think it has a release date of January, but it's funny. It says Fans Toys 2025. So I think it was originally scheduled to come out in December, but it got pushed back a little bit. So third member of Fans Toys Devastator should be hitting early next year. And I know we talk about this the last couple weeks, but so official images of the MMC, Ocular Max, PS-27 Deletus, or Scrapper from the Constructicons. And this thing just, like I've said, every time I see more and more images of this, it just looks better and better and better. And it's going to be hard not to get any of these MMC Constructicons.
I want them. I really do. They look so cool. I need them to do another TFCon series of G2 ones because I have to keep my G1 set of Combiner Wars.
Now, would you wait in hopes that the TFCon exclusive is that KB orange and bluish purple?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to be stuck with yellow.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? MMC can make me happy. MMC does seem to like me. They do seem to make the things I want quite often. I mean, they made a freaking Rosanna and flip sides of all things, right? Nobody makes flip sides.
So here, take this, why I think they would do the KB deco for the TFCon exclusive. Because they did Ruination or Baldigus for the Bruticus mold. They did
and they did a normal
mold.
Release of G2.
Right. So I could see them doing the third color as the exclusive.
If that happens, I am all in. I am all in for that, which would be nice because that would also mean that the next thing we see, because we wouldn't see these guys for probably 2-3 years, because
Yeah.
I think the next thing we're going to see from TFCon exclusives from MMC is going to be a G2 Defensor set.
Yep. Because
I
they
think
just
they're gonna.
finished that.
Yeah, they're working on the alternative. They're working on the
Yep.
toy colors. I think that's going to be their second release. And I think
Yep.
they're going to do the convention release as G2. His G2 Defensor kind of doesn't exist, sort of. So it'll be an odder thing to do.
Right. Which leads us into our next category for Devastator of the Year. Now, it's been a big year for Devastator, probably big 2 years. Everybody and their mother is doing them. Hasbro Takara, Fans Toys, X Transbots, MMC, Blockies. I know I'm leaving some out. I'm sure. Doctor Woo. So
See Star Toys?
Star Toys and 01 Studios. I think 10 plus Devastators within the last year, 2 years. So we couldn't leave the Devastator of the Year category out. So the nominees are Star Toys Devastator in the top left, the Takara Hasbro Devastator Studio Series 86, Blockies Devastator, and the one-legged, because it might have broke, X Transbots Devastator. X Transbots got thrown in because they're the most complete, the second most complete with Dreamstar Toys Devastator right now. So Anna, you own 2 of these. Which one of those 2 is your favorite? Or could it be one that you don't own and you just like how it looks better?
I actually only own one of these. I don't have
Oh, I
the
thought
Studio
you had-
Series 86 Devastator. No, I have Combiner Wars. My Combiner Wars has a bunch of upgrade kits on it, and it was a grift. So I have to keep it because it was a present. So I don't have the Studio Series one, but I have only heard good things about it. Even though it's got that giant hole in the chest, right? That a DNA kit is going to fix. I cannot stand that hole in the chest, but DNA kit is going to fix it. You know, I really thought I was going to come into this. If you would have asked me months ago, I would have said, ooh, Blockistator. Blockistator looks so good. Very disappointed with Blockistator. So it's not. I'm going to say my pick would be the Dreamstar. Because the Dreamstar is doing something crazy, right? They're actually making that prowl to go with it. And that is wacky. Like, people like to make the Prowlistator heads, but nobody makes a straight up prowl to actually go into the Devastator that homages a IDW plotline. So I'm really into it. Like, I like that aspect.
So I was kind of leaning towards X Transbots, even though I've had my issues with X Transbots. Good God, have I had my issues with X Transbots. But people have really been touting how they've been doing their Devastator pieces. I think part of that is on purpose. I think part of that, you know, they're putting their money into that. Then I heard so they re-decoed that scrapper into Scoop, and then I heard that it does not combine. You can't add a Scoop leg to it. Like they retooled some parts to where it won't plug in. Not 100%, but that's what I've seen some images and people saying that, which kind of sucks because, right? Because in the IDW comics, Scoop became part of the Constructicons. And they're actually taking Long Haul and turning him into the other double target master, which I can't remember the name, but it's the dump truck. I think we've seen images of that earlier in the year. So I will probably... So I don't own the Studio Series 86 Devastator. I like what you said about the Dreamstar, but I've heard... I haven't heard anything on the new Dreamstar stuff, but the old Dreamstar Superion was a piece of shit. I'm going to go with the one I actually own. I'm going to go with the Blockies one. Just because...
Ooh, Blockistator.
It was the catalyst to buy non-transforming Transformers. So let's check the chat and see where everybody voted. So at last place at 0%, X-Transbots. I think I might have part of that with how much I bitch and complain about X-Transbots. At second place at 12%, Dreamstar Toys. Third place at 38%, Blockies. And the winner at 50%, Studio Series 86 Devastator.
It's one of the narrowest margins of the night, right? Like barely won out over the Blockistator.
Yeah, it was close.
Barely won
It didn't
out.
even get majority. I mean, it was at 50%. It didn't even get majority. So,
Well,
now
for
it's at
the
56%. It did go up a little bit, but
Went up a little more.
yeah.
For the first annual Devastator of the Year award, I have the official verdict here. Who will be next year's Devastator of the Year? Will we have even more? We'll see. Looks like this is still rigged. Studio Series 86 Devastator.
Wow.
Congratulations, Hasbro, for your first win of the night.
Could there be more? I don't know.
No, they won their
stay
own
tuned.
category. Remember, we had the Hasbro category. We had the
Oh,
BMI
yeah.
category, so they won that too.
We should have been so trolly and just threw somebody else in, but that would have been bad.
This is mainline.
Yeah. All right. So
86 has been praised. So the winner.
so moving on to X-Transbots. So I am in on these because I bought Misfire. As much as I hated Misfire's transformation, it still looks gorgeous, and so does this guy. So these are test shots of Slugslinger and its Target Master.
That looks gorgeous to you? I'm not seeing it. Jeez.
I mean,
Maybe you just use color for me.
he does have a big wing on the back of him, basically, but I like it. I like it. I think it looks cooler in alt mode.
It does.
With the double cockpit.
The LG treatment on this guy from way back in the day, from the old Headmaster figure, when Takara did the LG treatment, is so good that I don't really need anything like this.
Yeah.
I could see the appeal. I can barely see the appeal though.
And didn't Slugslinger get like a reissue, like in the Amazon?
The 2-packs. Yeah,
yeah.
darker colors. I don't like it as much. I still prefer the LG. Plus the LG came with the Target Master, and those LG Target Masters were really good.
You mean not ones that just fold in half?
Not
we're
ones that
getting
just
now?
fold in half. Not those trashy little ones we get now, but good old ones that actually felt like toys. They were cool.
Well, moving on to our next category.
Ooh,
This is
next category so fast.
This one is we didn't have much Masterpiece news this week, but so these are the Masterpiece figure of the year.
Ooh.
So this is my wheelhouse, and here's the nominees. Masterpiece or MPG. Rat Trap or Rattle. Fans Toys / Fantastic Model Ultra Magnus. MPG God Bomber. And last but not least, the entire Magic Square combiner of Bruticus. So part of it came out last year, but Bruticus wasn't complete till this year. So Onslaught, Blastoff, and Vortex came out this year and was able to complete Bruticus. So, Anna, who's your pick of these nominees?
It's hard, right? Because you got 3 of my favorite Transformers characters up there. right? 3 of my favorite Transformers characters. You would not believe that one of my favorite Transformers characters is actually God Bomber. God Bomber is just like this freak that's like this weird parts forming monstrosity that has such a cool looking design and isn't even sentient. So I've always loved God Bomber. I've always loved Ultra Magnus because, you know, kind of had a thing for him back in the day. And then Rat Trap, like, he's so adorable and fun. Rat Trap's great. Those are all great characters. Haven't touched any of them. That's the thing. I haven't played with any of these. Right. One's in a box behind me. One
Teasing
I'll never
you.
have. One I'll hopefully have soon. And yeah, never had them. But I'm gonna say that, you know, knowing what I know, owning as many Magic Square figures as I have, and having been praising Magic Square for ever how many years they've been around, what, like 6, 7 now? I'm going to say that probably, if I were to play with all these toys, I would probably think the Magic Square was the best, to be honest. Because Magic Square just always blows me away with how reasonable their transformations are for the payoff. And those faded out, saturated colors that they do just look so much more like G1 animation cells than anything else to me.
Yeah. So I own 2 of the 3 of these. So the one of the coolest things about Rat Trap, which I have him right here, was like just he looks really good till you flip him around. I like I said when I showed him off last week, I don't display my Transformers like this. He finished a team which we waited how many years? Almost 10 years since Optimus Primal came out. So that's the plus for him. Some of his pluses. Ultra Magnus is one of my favorite characters. It came out early in the year, and I think a lot of people might have forgot about that Ultra Magnus. It's a great toy. It's not an all-in-one. You have a base Prime figure, the white Prime, where the armor pieces fit on it. So it has that feel from like G1. So it's not a super complicated transformation. But the presence that the Magic Square Bruticus has, and the stability, the quality, just the look, the ease of transformation, like it's a no-brainer. That Bruticus, hands down, wins it for me. Hopefully I was able to sell it, and maybe the folks in the chat will vote for it. But get those votes in, and we'll read the chat, see what everybody
You've been
thinks.
praising it all year.
Yeah.
Praising it all year.
So we have
I'm
a tie
hoping that
for...
I love that. Hoping I love God Bomber personally, because he's right here.
Yeah, it'll be fun to build that to build the super. So Anna, we have a two-way tie.
This is our first tie.
Wait. It was first and second and whatever. So there was 2 of them that were at 38% and 2 of them that were 11%, but somebody added a vote. So now it's tied at 11%. Is Takara MPG God Bomber and Fantastic Model Ultra Magnus.
Oh, the forgotten guys. Sorry, guys.
At second place at 33%, the chat has voted for Takara Rat Trap. And they were listening at 44%. First place, Magic Square Bruticus. Anna, can you please reveal the winner?
Yeah, let's see. Something seems off on this one. It's handwritten in crayon. Looks like Caleb's writing. So strange. It just says Bruticus in giant letters.
Wow. The streak between the chat and the winners, I was not thinking this was going to happen.
Congratulations, Magic Square. You've always been a great toy company, and people are finally noticing you.
Congratulations. The Decepti goes to them. Wow.
Taking
And good job,
their
chat.
first
For,
Decepti.
yeah. Great job, chat, for I guess being in line with the committee. So next up, I forgot to add the slide that you made about the sales stuff, but I did find some sales stuff last week.
There was a big sell, right? That Target sell.
Yep.
I got to a dangerous price on that Star Convoy. Because a lot of people just don't really want that Star Convoy. That could definitely be a cautionary tale of sell for a lot of people. A lot of people, that Star Convoy just doesn't mean anything to them.
I was close to like pulling the trigger on that, but I didn't.
I almost pulled the trigger on the Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's the one I thought was funny. It's like, wow, this thing just went up for pre-order, and hey, you can get what, 25% off, something like that, 40% off. Good Lord,
good deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
About the best we'll see for a while, unless it really gets deep clearance, which we'll see if it gets deep clearance. I do want that chicken. Yeah,
and the crazy thing is, like 2 weeks ago, I just saw that Thrust, Gigawatt, and Sunstreaker at stock, and now they're already clearancing it. And that DevCon $14.99, that thing was like what, $80 at one point.
It's funny, when the sale first went live, they actually had it at that marked up price, and then it was marked down to like 40 on sale. So I was like, what is the point in this? And then when I looked later in the day, it was down to that 15, and it's like, there we go.
Yeah.
That DevCon sure did fix that blur mode, the mold, though. That blur mold was terrible. But DevCon has gotten nothing but praise.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think this was a limited time deal. I think it only had. Yeah. So sorry telling you guys about this now, but I'm sure if this stuff is going on sale now, I'm sure it'll happen again after Christmas, maybe. So next up, our next nominee, Bomb of the Year. So it kind of ties in with sales. Huh?
A wonderful category, right? Because on this show, we tell it like it is. We don't just praise figures. We praise figures. We poop on figures. We let them have what they've deserved. So we're going to talk about the figure that really deserves the negative Decepti, the anti-Septi.
Is this our toxic category, Anna?
It's our toxic category.
So here are the nominees.
Coming up first.
Might be some surprises.
We have the HasLab Omega Prime, properly known as Godfire Convoy. Does it really deserve the name Godfire Convoy? Perhaps it should just be Omega Prime, with that giant breakage issue where when many people transformed it for the first time, it broke. And then when Hasbro repaired it, they didn't send them back enough figure to build anything. Seems to be a bit of a mess. Then we have what a friend of mine actually said was a nominee for his figure of the year. We have the multi-pack Perceptor, which came with minor improvements to make you buy the same figure again. A ram horn that really just makes you go, I have a ram horn. And a rat bat that uses a different color of plastic for no reason other than to agitate you greatly. Very flawed little mess of a set for a Voyager price point. Then we have Taleb's pick for figure of the year, X-Transbot's Blades. I know you love it. It's your favorite. Doesn't it just make you happy every time you touch it or look at it?
The thing was a fucking nightmare.
Ooh, first F-bomb of the night from of the bomb category. Then finally, we have my personal disappointment of the year. Yeah, you see it, Blockastator. Because I'm going to tell you what I thought I was getting. I thought I was getting a set that I could take apart and put back together over and over. Little vehicles that vroom around and look all happy and fun and then combine. guess what? You put that thing together, you try to take it apart, you're going to break it. In fact, I actually had some of the parts get stress marks and breaks even putting it together once. So that's definitely a put it together once model kit. Big disappointment to me personally. Was not a huge fan of how that thing goes together. Such a bummer on that one. So yeah, here we have some bummers, things that aren't so great, things that we were disappointed in.
Yeah, it was a difficult decision between the X-Transbots Blades and X-Transbots First Aid, because those kind of came really close together and they were really a pain in the ass to transform. But for my pick of those two, it was the Blades. I'm glad Lord of Brooklyn approves that the HasLab is the nominee for Bomb of the Year. And Bomb's not like the bomb, baby, like good, like 90s version of the bomb. This was turd, a walking turd.
This is the poop bomb.
Yep.
Yeah, the poop bomb of the year. Yeah, I think any of these are excellent picks for losers, really, because, X-Transbots figures have been making people unhappy for ages, while also still having a huge presence in the community. So, always a good category for them. And then the Black Satyr, you just heard me rant about it. That Perceptor, we literally had a guest on to tell us how frustrated that Perceptor was, right? Like we made a whole thing of it.
Yep.
But gosh, a HasLab that breaks when you get it, that's a hard sell. Except you already bought it. That's the thing you get with a figure like that, right? Not only do you get a figure that's breaking, but you already bought it because you HasLabbed it, aka crowdfunded it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the chat right now, and right now it third place. I don't want to say who's the last place right now. Third place is the Studio Series 86 Perceptor. At second place, at 33%, is X-Transbots Blades. So,
nice.
At last place, at 0%, is the Blockies Devastator.
Most people don't mind my problems with that figure. I understand. Yep. It's okay for y'all to be wrong.
In first place at 50% is the HasLab Godfire Convoy Omega Prime. Anna, would you like to reveal who the loser is?
Let's see. What toy company failed at making Transformers the most this year? Oh, what a surprise. It was Hasbro.
Wow.
Godfire Convoy / Omega Prime. You get the anti-Decepti. Congratulations, little guy. You let us down the most this year. It was such an interesting winner, right? Because honestly, I've enjoyed having this set a lot. I've played with it. I've enjoyed it. I love the fact they made Blue Bolt an actual character, a figure, before she became a weird bird person in the Strange comic with Dark Amber Lio. So I thought it was all really great. That's because mine hasn't broken, right? Frankly, I am very, very gentle with my figures. I'm very, very careful. Mine has not broken. Many, many of these figures broke. Yeah. And this wasn't 2 or 3 people. This was a lot of people who backed this darn thing, had their multi-$100 crowdfunded figure break in their hands. Such a real letdown.
Yeah, and like you've harped on, like how damning the QC issues were for this. I think people can look past QC issues. So a lot of hold on, let me start over. So HasLabs are manufactured in the same way, the same plants as anything that you find in the stores. There is nothing special about them other than you're paying up front. So you have to take out that part when complaining about QC issues. But at the same time, you're paying for that shit up front. and it should be treated special. So that's very damning when a HasLab has QC issues like this one had, as opposed to things you find in the store.
Yeah, because you get this guy, right? You drive over to Target and you grab this guy. You get him home, and his head, like, for some reason, has like a crack down the middle of it. You know what you do? You put him back in the package. You drive him back over to Target. You say it's broken, and they say go get a new one. And you take it home, and you have a new one. And its head isn't broken. It's great. That darn thing, you go through the trouble of sending it in. And then they still fumble that, right? The repair wasn't quite good enough to really fix the problem. Some people only got portions of it back when they got their figures back. It was just a big mess. So yeah, this was really kind of a bummer. Yay! Look at that. We got a praise. Hasbro has decided to ban us.
Yeah, we are no longer on the list of influencers. So
just you. I don't seem to be banned. I'm on another podcast called Transformers for Your Listening Pleasure, where we usually talk all about the greatness of Hasbro. So
shameless
by
plug.
we, I mean the rest of them, not me.
Yep. All right. Well, moving on to some news. We got another Transformers convention coming to Chicago next year, and there was a lot of chatter about this. Some excitement. What, Anna? You might have some changes in plans. Maybe you might attend. What's your thoughts on a closer to you BotCon?
Yeah, BotCon was in the same place for years, a place I didn't really want to go to, and now it's in another place that I frequently go to. I like Chicago. I go there on the occasion. So yeah, it's a little more of a consideration for me than it used to be. I also think this might be the boost that BotCon needs, because BotCon has been, back around for 2-3 years now, and it just has not been hitting anywhere near the numbers of a TFCon. But because TFCon has had a Chicago presence, and when it hits Chicago, it is flooded with people, we might see some of that TFCon crowd showing up at the Chicago BotCon. So yeah, and I think that was Stu who just said that Chicago in July is great, right? Because it doesn't get as hot there. So a summer convention in Chicago, great choice. It's sounding really promising to me. And this year they're going to have a feature of the most important Transformers line of all, Metal Cardbot, which is not at all Transformers, but they're going to be featuring that. So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
BotCon's weird.
Well, and they get Ramen Toys, and we've seen some really cool crossovers from there too. So it'd be nice to see what Ace is cooking up.
In fact, they're branching out to other stuff. I kind of pick on them about the Metal Carbot thing, and I kind of poked at them about the, why are they doing Beast Box? But, it's neat. They're trying stuff. They're being creative. So props to them for trying things.
Well, Anna, it's that time of the evening.
It is the biggest of all the Decepties.
Our final category, Toy Company of the Year. Now, we deal with third party. We deal with official, non-transforming Transformers, and sometimes little mini bots. But we had to narrow it down to 4 Toy Companies of the Year. And the nominees are...
Number 1, Dr. Wu, makers of small figures. Number 2, Blockies, the little buildable toy company that I knew about years ago, but most people learned about this year and bought hundreds of. Fans Toys, the masterpiece producing third-party company that people haven't been shutting up about for years and years.
Cult-likes.
And finally, Hasbro, some sort of weird toy company that claims that they like Transformers. We've heard of them, but they seem to be really bad at making them. Just kidding.
Yeah, we never shit on them.
Just kidding. It's just the HasLab. I own bazillions of Hasbro figures. So it's an interesting mix of nominees right? So we have a company that makes pretty much a size category all of their own. Nobody else is really making figures to go at this small micromaster scale, right? Even though I held up a mini con, it's still the same scale. Nobody's really else is doing that. You know, Galaxy Toys is kind of stepping into it with slightly bigger figures. Dr. Wu kind of stands alone. Blockies. We talk about blockies a lot on this show. People who buy blockies tend to buy another blocky and another blocky and another blocky. And you end up with 120 Defender blockies in a single year. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Fans Toys, I think Caleb owns roughly 2,000, maybe 3,000 Fans Toys figures because he loves them so much. So much.
Yeah, I used to. Well, I don't want to say I didn't like Fans Toys. I didn't like the cult following of Fans Toys, and it kind of made me off-putting. But they make quality products.
That's actually why I don't really do much Fans Toys. It's the kind of cult following. Because people like, it is not just like everybody loves them, right? Because it's like everybody loves a lot of these things, right? Everybody loves Hasbro. Everybody loves blockies. Dr. Wu fans are huge into what they do in the small scale. It's just that the Fans Toys fans tend to really, really badmouth other stuff.
Yep.
Right? They tend to be like, oh, well, everything else is bad. And one company that Fans Toys fans tend to be kind of merciless with is Mastermind Creations. One of my favorite third-party companies. They're always like, oh, they're terrible. And it's like, they're really good. Fans Toys is also really good. I think that's always been what's bugged me about them.
Yep. You know, I just love. I don't collect Dr. Wu, but just what they produce is very fun toys, and
it's so cool.
Glad,
I'm glad that they put out something that can go with Titans, because Hasbro really hasn't given us a lot to put with the Titans that looks right with them, and Dr. Wu has.
Well, and you know, the other thing is what I'm excited with the future for Dr. Wu with the Micromasters. If they can knock out all these Micromasters that Hasbro failed to do, or do better than what they did, they have my money when it comes to those Micromasters.
Absolutely, and looks like they're going to start, right? Looks like they're actually going to start doing those Micromasters, which is really going to change the amount of people who own them. Because there's a lot of, you know, diehard Hasbro fans that are like, well, why would I want a tiny Starscream that's Micromaster size? He's not a Micromaster. But when they produce actual Micromasters, they're going to be like, here's my money.
Yep. And then, you know, Hasbro, we like to rail on them, but the one positive thing I will say about Hasbro, that the Transformers, it's the team, the designers, we love those guys. The enthusiasm they show on the live streams, at the shows, they love this brand. They can't, and that's why it's no fault to them. They work for a huge company, $1 billion company, and they have to follow rules that's out of their reach. And then another really good thing is what we see from the Hasbro TF team that we don't see from the other teams as much is they complete teams. And they've done a really good job lately of completing teams like Target Masters, the Dinobots. They got all the Dinobots done, and I mean, they did Devastator in a year. They're going to do Bruticus kind of a quasi year because it started halfway in one year and it'll get probably finished halfway in next year. So there is positives as much as we shit on them. They're an easy target.
They're an easy target, and you know, none of this would be here without them. You know, they produce, they keep Transformers going no matter what. They started Transformers for us here in the country, and they're important. And we do enjoy our Hasbro stuff. Like, it's nice to have normal level complexity toys that are consistent to play with.
And one thing that I want to say about Blockies, they have brought collectors together. There are people that probably never would have collected Transformers if it wasn't for Blockies. And Avi's an example of that because he still don't know shit about Transformers. Kind of compare him to Gundam the other week, but it has brought two like groups of people that don't think the same as like Transformers collectors and action figures collectors, and Blockies have brought them together. So that's what I wanted. I just wanted to say about Blockies. So
Yeah, no, Blockies has done a lot this year.
and speaking of Avi, he is trolling in the chat right now.
What's that, Transformers?
Yeah. I think I found a Transformer. All right, so we have let's see what the chat has to say. At a tie for third place, at 9%, Dr. Wu and Fans Toys. Chat is
Two of the
not
biggest innovators on the list, right? Like Fans Toys produces some like absolutely ridiculous complexity, beautiful looking figures, and Dr. Wu is doing something no one else does.
So it just changed. There were a couple more votes, but now it's 8% tie. 8% Fans Toys Dr. Wu. At 33%, at the runner-up, Shocks Me, Blockies. And at 50%, Hasbro gets the chat vote.
Wow.
What did Lord of Brooklyn pay you, Tools?
Wow, look at that. Blockies. Even though we've just done so much Blocky stuff and we've focused on Blockies so much, Hasbro still is the toy producer of the year to the fans. But what does the Academy think?
Wait. Good observation, Avi. So, wait, are you saying that toy collectors are hypocritical? No, that doesn't happen.
Is if you're going to produce something terrible, just keep making more things so that people will forget. Right? Because it's like there were so many other things this year. It's like, oh yeah, they screwed up the HasLab. Oh well, I got Megatron.
Yep. All right.
Shall we see?
So here we go. Drum roll.
This is the last award of the night, everyone. The final, the largest Decepti, the Titan class Decepti, goes to the company known as Blockies.
Yay!
Disagree with
Congratulations.
the fan vote. Congratulations, Blockies. Why did you win? You won because you have infested our homes with endless supplies of easy to build figures that we're not going to know what to do with in roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But this is reality. I think it's going to happen to a lot of us. We're going to wake up one day in the next couple of years and we're going to be like, why the heck do I own all of these? Mm-hmm. What are these all doing here? They're kind of a strange art style. They don't really fit with my other Transformers. They don't transform. They're kids. What are they? The market for Blockies is going to explode and it's going to be cheap.
Yeah. Do you think with as much other IPs that Blockies is producing now with like DC, Marvel, Jurassic World, even some of the Asian stuff like Kamen Rider, Ultraman. Do you think they'll have a bubble burst like Funko?
I feel like Blockies is trying to become a toy company. Like I feel like they're trying to become a big toy company. Like they're trying to become a Funko. I think they're trying to surpass companies like Super 7 very quickly. You know, to become a legitimate like a Hasbro level toy company. So we're gonna see what they do over the next year or two. You know, do they actually branch out well into buildable figures as well as pre-built figures as well as other types of toys? You know, some of us have the Blockies wheels in our possession under our Christmas trees wherever we have them. We'll see. Can they make buildable cars that are fun?
Mm-hmm.
So far, it sounded like maybe not.
Oh, they're really
We'll
that
see.
bad, huh?
I'm hearing some thoughts. I'm hearing some kind of neutral to negative thoughts, which is kind of what I expected since they were more fitting the mold of Defender than Galaxy. But we'll see.
Right.
I'll tell you my opinion when next we meet. So I'll put together at least a couple of them by then.
Well, everybody, I like to thank you guys for hopping in. I hope you enjoyed the festivities, the Decepties, as we are dubbed these. Maybe it's something we'll do every year.
What an amazing turnout for the first ever Decepties.
Yeah.
I think these
It's
nominees are all going to go home tonight disappointed that they didn't win.
It's funny how, like, last week I was, mentioned doing a top 5, and then last night we just kind of spitballed and kind of rolled this out. So it was was really fun. So
yeah, the main reason I was pitching this idea is that everybody does a top 5, right?
Right.
But why not do an awards show?
Yep.
It's fun, harmless.
And
some people might be upset that they do not agree every time with the magic in the envelope.
right, it was pretty good. We had a really good streak there at the end. Everything was matching.
Yeah, there were only 2 times that the vote and the vote of the council did not line up.
So, Anna, as we wrap up, do you have anything to promote? Zakanan's already thrown links in the chat. So,
I have some. I do love Bumblebee. Thank you. I do have some images that I'm going to post right after the show of these guys. So I'll be putting them on my Instagram so that you can see the arm modes and stuff and how I feel about them. I feel great about them, And maybe I'll post some holiday loot as the season goes on. We'll see what happens. Hopefully some people can visit me. Now, Taylor, take it away. Shameless self-promotion.
You can find me at Talib1980_collects, where I do YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, every Tuesday, every Friday is a review goes up. This Tuesday or tomorrow, or actually I should say today, Masterpiece Rhinox goes up. And then Action Figure Fridays on Friday. Those reviews go up at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what action figure I'm doing, but I got an action figure one in line. And then immediately after this show, around 1 a.m. ish, which I got to upload, I got like 30 minutes, is a pre-record news and review. So all the news that I post throughout the week, there is a review show. And that's every Tuesday at 1 a.m. And then Saturday nights, come join us, 11 p.m. Eastern. Join me, Stu, Lou, Abby, Creative Primitive, and Smudge Customs as we talk about movies, pretty much what we're talking about right now. Last week, we ranked all of the a bunch of Christmas movies. We did like the little web-based ranking system. I don't know what we're talking about this week. So look out for that at 11 p.m. Eastern. And then, as you're watching right now, I am on Figure Fight Club. Every Monday, 10:15 p.m. is Decepticast. Join me, my co-host Anna, as we talk about Transformers. And sometimes we're trolly, sometimes we're not. Sadly, I have to say, Anna will be traveling next week, so she won't be able to join me. But I do have something cooking. I've got some guest co-hosts. It takes multiple co-hosts to fill Anna's shoes. But the plan is to do our top 10 theatrical Transformers releases. You're asking me top 10. There's not 10. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. But so far, Zakanan will be here. I have Ayo Frankie and Lou. I've also reached out to 2 other people, waiting confirmation. Patriot Prime might come back, so come see what happens next week. And then Tuesday night, tomorrow night, is open mic night. The link will be in the chat. Come join us, show and tell, talk toys. Just don't be a jerk. And then Friday night is our VIP show where we interview content creators, toy creators, toy distributors or toy store runners. I can't think of the right term for that, but Avi has a promo video to show. Roll that.
Yeah. Listen, never pain this. Won't never crisis. You about to glide.
So yeah, this Friday is Pac Photos. So come hang out with us Friday night. I don't know, did it have a start time? 9 p.m. is usually the start time. So, and then one last thing before we get out of here, I want to thank everybody for showing up this evening. Lord of Brooklyn, representing Hasbro, telling us our flaws, which is weird from Hasbro. Zaldron, Stew for Lunch. Matt with 2 T's just hopped in. Zakanen, Sneaky Figures, Minhoza. See who else? Anybody else? I don't want to forget, but HGC had to leave early, and yeah, I've run out of names. I know there's more. I apologize if I missed your name, but thank you. We will see you next week. Take care and good night. Peace.
Thanks for being here. Bye.
As we wrap up tonight's fun, the figures in talk, so we've just begun. Join us next time for thrills anew. In the world of Figure Fight Club, it's all for you. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. See you next week on Figure Fight Club, stay strutting. This isn't goodbye, it's just to see you later. In the meantime, go check out another creator. So keep your figures on display until we gather here someday. Remember the tales and the laughs we shared. Here at Figure Fight Club, you're treasured and cared.